working with increasing and decreasing patterns. Let's do a quick warm-up. Says an increasing or decreasing pattern if we read it from left to right. Gets bigger, increasing. Okay, how about this one? If we read it from left to right. Increasing or decreasing? Decreasing because it gets smaller. The steps get smaller. Okay, I have one more to show you. Increasing or decreasing? I see 1, 3, 5. Increasing because the amount is getting bigger. Okay, so I have a question for you. Remember when I said that some patterns are repeating, other patterns have a rule that repeats. Okay? So today, the question is going to be, what is the rule for this pattern? What is the rule? We're going to figure out those rules and write them. And now this is math, so we're going to use our mathematical symbols to write the rule. I like doing that. Remember, math is always one of my favorite things, and I love writing things in math symbols. It's neat. So we have 1 cube here. And then how many do we have here? 2, and then 3, and then 4. So to get from 1 to 2, what did we do? We added a cube. What did we do to get from 2 to 3? We added how many cubes? What about from getting from 3 to 4? We did what? We added 1 cube. Did we do the same thing each time? I hope so, because if it's a pattern, that rule should repeat. So we did the same thing each time. So we added 1 cube each time. How do you think you could write that using math symbols? You have to think back. We learned the symbol for add last year. Right? We learned how to write. We learned when we were doing addition, we learned there's a symbol that means add. And if we're adding 1, what would this rule look like? Think about it for a minute. If you have an idea, write it down. Okay, do you remember the symbol for add? I'm going to show you with my fingers first. Remember we would do this, we would do add. Addition is the plus sign. So add plus, and how many are we adding each time? 1. So add 1. Add 1. Okay, so now if I wanted to do the next row, I would know add 1, I would go make it 1 more, right? Add 1 more cube. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So anytime I wanted to add another row, I would know what to do. Add 1. And that's what you do every single time. Add 1. Okay, let's look at this one. We said this one was decreasing, so it's getting smaller. So are we adding cubes each time? No. What are we doing? We're taking some away. Do you remember the sign for take away? There's another word for that, and it's subtract. Do you remember that sign? It's like that. Subtract. Is this subtract 1? Are we taking 1 away each time? No. How many are we taking away each time? Taking away 2 each time. You can see, that here. 1, 2, right? That's 2. This is less, right? 2 are missing. And this is 5. 5, take away 2 equals 3. 3 minus 2, or take away 2 equals 1. So each time, take away 2. Okay, does that make sense? Each time, take away 2. Take away 2, take away 2. And then we would have to be down below 0. So we really can't keep going with this one. Take away 2. Okay. Okay, now I want to show you how to do this with a pattern that looks like this. Okay, so let's look at this one. What number do we have here? 1. Let's write that down here. What number do we have here? 3. What number do we have here? 5. Now let's first think, are the numbers getting bigger or smaller? Right, they're getting bigger. So is it increasing or decreasing? Increasing. So we know for our rule, it's going to have a plus sign because things are getting bigger. How many bigger is it getting each time? Now we could use our hundreds chart to help us. So let me push this aside a moment and just slide the hundreds chart in here. Okay. So we had 1. Here's 1. And then I'm going to put my finger on 3. So we could see how many hops did we have to go to get to 3. We had to go 1, 2 hops to get up to 3. Okay, so that's adding 2, right? Because if we added 1 hop would get us to 2, but we didn't just go to 2, we went to 3, so we went 1, 2. Okay, so I might just make a little mark here to show me that that's a 2, but I want to double check it to make sure that's the same over here. So let's check and see how many hops it is from 3 to 5. Here's 3, we went 1, 2, up to 5. So I'm going to put a 2 here. Well, it looks like each time we did that, we got 2 numbers bigger. So we're adding 2 plus 2. Okay, can you erase these? If it helps you to see it in the cubes, you could also take a pattern like that and make it into a staircase pattern if you wanted to. You could do this. You could do. Okay, it starts out with 1. What's next? 3. And I could make 3 here. Okay, 1, 2, 3. What comes next? 5. And you want to make sure that your boxes are kind of correlated here. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so that your boxes match up. Okay, so then I can easily see, look, how many bigger does this get? Ooh, 2. How many bigger does this one get? 2 boxes. So then, does that seem right? It does, plus 2. Okay, so we can see that that's increasing by 2, so it's a plus 2. Okay, now let me show you what your work will be today. These might look familiar to you. These are some that we've worked with already. There might be some new ones, but there's some that you've already worked with. And what you're going to do is look at each of the different patterns, and I want you to figure out the rule and write down the rule. Okay? And then on this page, the same thing. I know it's a little bit hard to see here. There's 1 circle, and then there's some more circles and some more. What's the rule? Here you go. Here's some squares. Then there's squares here and squares here. So what's the rule here? And then down here, you get to create your own pattern. So think of your own either increasing or decreasing pattern, and I want you to write the rule below. Okay, does that make sense? Okay, so just like what we did, where you'll look at it and try and figure out what the rule is, you can write it using mathematical symbols. So you can use the plus and minus signs, and then write how many it's either increasing or decreasing by. So it might be plus 1, might be plus 2, could be plus 3, could be take away or minus 1, take away 2, take away 3. Okay, so go ahead and give that a try. Write those rules. This to me is fun. It's like kind of like solving a mystery puzzle. Like, what is the rule? It's fun. Your brain really gets to think about this. Okay, have fun and work carefully.